Hey everybody, it's Alyssa. Welcome back to my pet channel, and in today's video I am going to be doing a Q&A video. I get asked tons of questions all the time on every video, my DMs, my comments on Instagram, asking just different questions. So I figured on my Instagram I would ask you guys to send in some questions for me to answer, and I picked some of the questions that were the most interesting to me, and a lot of them were very repetitive, so I just chose the first one that I saw. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me this past month, 2 months. If you haven't been keeping track of my life or anything like that, I am currently house hunting, and I'm literally touring houses almost every single day in the week, and that takes up a lot of time. And I also have been filming and uploading on my main channel a lot to help grow my main channel a little bit more. So I haven't really had time to do too much with the pet channel because I've just been focusing on taking care of the animals and finding a house. So life has been crazy, but I'm going to sit down today. I don't know how long this video is going to be, and I am going to just answer some questions with you guys. So before I get started, I'm gonna put on this little critter cuddler right here that the beautiful Sarah from the guinea pig jungle sent me. She has been telling me to buy this thing forever now, and I just wasn't buying it. And I guess she got tired of me saying that I wasn't buying it, and she bought it for me and she sent it to me. And basically you can put your guinea pig or whatever animal inside of this and you can cuddle with them. So I'm trying to decide who I should pick. Kevin and the girls all have fungal infections right now, so I'm not going to choose them just because I don't want to get all of their little spores and stuff all over this. So today we have chosen Mr. Beans here to be held. So Mr. Beans has done a lot better to be socialized since I got him. He was just a very scared boy when I got him, but he's been doing so much better. As you can see, he just vibes and he really likes these little oxbow treats, and all the other pigs want some too. We're gonna cuddle with Beans while I answer some questions that you guys sent in. All right, so the first question is from Kiara's Piggies, and she asked, do you think guinea pigs will be a long-term pet that you'd always like to have? And the answer is yes. I don't know if I'll have them for the rest of my life, of course, because I do think that I want there to be a point in my life where I'm able to travel and, you know, visit different places around the world and do all of that stuff. But obviously when you have a lot of animals, you can't really do that unless you have a lot of money to pay for pet sitters, which I don't have. I don't know if I get older if I'll have all the animals that I have now, but I'm very content with keeping guinea pigs for at least the next 10 years or so, because, you know, my guinea pigs hopefully will live for the next 5-8 years, hopefully. Lila Ann 23 asked, what is your favorite name you have ever named your animal? Is probably Kijo or Salem, because I really like how witchy their names are. Kijo is named after, I believe it's Chinese folklore. I believe it's Chinese, don't quote me on that. I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see what it is, but it basically means demon woman, which I think is really funny. She's very, very sweet, but she is very loud and she screams like a banshee all day. I feel like her name fits her very well, and I really like the name Salem just because it's super witchy and I love the stories of Salem. Well, they're tragic stories, but I love reading and researching about the stories of Salem. Mackenzie Sarah Lynn asked, do you ever feel like you don't have enough for your animals? I am going through this. So that's a good question. I've never been asked that before. I personally, when I started getting more guinea pigs, I did feel that way just because I felt like I had to buy so much stuff to be able to give them all things that they need. But as I have accumulated a bunch more stuff, as you guys have seen from my haul videos, I actually don't feel that way anymore. I feel like all of my animals have way more than what they need. Every single one of my animals do. So I personally don't feel that way just because I actually have too much stuff, and there will be a video coming soon where I'm rearranging this room again, where I can keep this closet open and use it as my storage closet because I just have too much stuff and I need to find somewhere to organize it. Piggy Blog asked, why did you decide to adopt so many guinea pigs? Well, mainly just because I love guinea pigs. I mean, you could probably see that from my channel, but the reason why I adopted so many is that I know that I have the means to, and I know that I have the money and I have the resources to be able to adopt all of the guinea pigs that I have, so why not? I'm someone, like, you know, a lot of people my age are getting married right now, having kids and stuff like that, and that's just not the route that I want to go into my life right now. What I want to do in my life right now is to just own animals, rescue animals, and that is what I want to do with my life, so that's why I chose to have as many guinea pigs as I have, because I have the means to. Kate's Place YT asked, what is the hardest part of owning animals? And I think the hardest part of owning animals, especially small rodents, is the fact that they don't live very long. That's why I prefer guinea pigs over any other rodent, because guinea pigs actually live a lot longer than other rodents do, but they die very soon. You only have about 2 to 3 years with them and then they pass away, and that's very hard. And the other hardest part of owning animals is just making sure that they are completely taken care of, like making sure that they're always fed, that they're always clean. That's the hardest part for me, is making sure that I have everything for them all the time. I've gotten into the routine now that it doesn't really stress me out to clean and have everything organized and stuff like that. But at the beginning it was a lot to handle, but I'm doing fine now. So I think that's the hardest part, just making sure that you're always on top of everything. Seymour's asked, are your dogs naughty and do they have separation anxiety when you leave? So my dogs are very naughty sometimes. Their issue is that they like to eat things. So they do get into a lot of stuff if I'm not watching them, hence why they are crate trained. And no, they do not have separation anxiety, because I've worked with them since they were puppies to make sure that they don't have separation anxiety. They do very well when I leave. They don't bark. They don't scream or anything like that. Like I said, they are crate trained, so their crate is their safe space. So once I put them in there, they normally just go to sleep and they're completely fine. Dolly98 asked, do you plan on getting any bunnies? And a lot of people ask me that actually. In the community, it's a very big overlap in guinea pig owners and bunny owners. A lot of people who own guinea pigs also have bunnies. They're similar in some ways of their care, but there's a lot of things that are very different with their care. But I would love to have bunnies one day, but bunnies are a lot of work. They need to be free roamed. They need so much more space than like a guinea pig would have. You basically have to treat them like they're a cat or a dog, and I don't have that space or that time to be able to give a bunny the life that they would need currently. Maybe in the future I'll be able to get a house big enough where I'd be able to have 2 bunnies, but right now I'm just going to stick to the animals that I have. But yeah, eventually I would absolutely love to have bunny rabbits, but at the moment I just don't have the space for them. Sharon's Pets asked, would you ever get another rodent pet? I never say never, obviously, because I wasn't expecting to ever get Dale, but I have no interest in getting any more small rodents like rats, mice, hamsters, anything like that after my rats pass away. Just because, well, first of all, I've noticed that I'm actually allergic to their pee. With my rats, I'm very allergic to their pee, and my hands get very swollen and they break out and I can't breathe when I clean their enclosure. So I just don't want to deal with that for the rest of my life owning small rodents. And like I said, their lifespans are just so short. It's hard for me to handle their deaths. Many of you guys don't follow me on social media. About this past month, I actually had 2 animal deaths. My fish passed away and also Dale passed away. I do have highlights on my Instagram page that goes into more detail of everything, because I'm not going to go into that now. I want this video to stay more positive, but long story short, Kimchi was very sick and he passed away. Dale just passed away of old age because he was over 2 years old, and it's very rare that mice even live up to 3 years anyway, so he passed away in his sleep. And what's actually very strange is the girl I got Dale from, she kept his blood brother because he had a lot of health issues and she didn't want to throw all his health issues onto me. And his blood brother actually passed away the same day Dale did, which made me really sad. But him and his brother died on the exact same day. It sucks, and I haven't said anything here on YouTube yet because I'm still mourning his death. I loved Dale a lot. I still haven't cleaned out his enclosure yet because it's hard for me to do, and it was very upsetting, and it still is very upsetting to me. Yeah, it's really hard to own rodents because you don't have very long with them, and I only had about 6 months with Dale, but I was obsessed with him. He was the sweetest mouse I've ever interacted with, and he was the best. So yeah, I don't plan on owning any more rodents other than guinea pigs in the future because it's just too much for me mentally to handle. 3 Petite Cavies asked, I don't know if it's cavies or cavies. I've always said cavies, so I'm gonna say that, but what is your favorite thing about being in the guinea pig community? So as many of you guys know, I've said this before in many videos, I like the guinea pig community because I feel like the community is kind of taking a turn and it's actually getting pretty negative lately, but most of the community are very positive and very nice to each other, as in a lot of other communities, you ask a question and you get attacked for literally anything. I feel like the guinea pig community are very nice to each other. Like if we see someone who's having poor care, we will just, you know, educate them in a nice manner. And I feel like with other communities, a lot of people are just very condescending towards each other, and I don't like that. So that's what I do like about the guinea pig community. But like I said lately, I noticed a lot of people are really hopping on each other about very about things that can have different types of care, like bonding guinea pigs and stuff like that. Everybody has different experiences with how to bond different pigs, and I feel like people shouldn't give opinions on what other people choose to do with their pigs when it comes to like bonding and who they choose to have friends with and stuff, because the owner knows their pigs the best, and people on the internet like to pretend that they know what's best for like creators, and they don't know the pigs like the creator does. So I have noticed that there's been a little bit of a shift in the community. I feel like we should stop being so judgmental and go back to how we were, but you know, every community is gonna have some toxicity in it. So that's what I do love about the community, is that everybody's pretty positive. Junior JS asked, do you think piggies are just as high maintenance as cats and dogs? And yes, they're more high maintenance than cats and dogs in my opinion. All right, Beans is gonna go back in his enclosure now because I think he's getting a little anxious. He's never done that before. He did pretty well. All right, it's getting hot in here, so I'm gonna take that off. Okay, but like I was saying, I think guinea pigs are actually more high maintenance than cats and dogs. Guinea pigs, you have to feed multiple times a day with a bunch of different stuff. You have to clean multiple times a day. You have to buy so much more for guinea pigs than you would for cats and dogs. And I have spent thousands of dollars more for my guinea pigs than I have for my cats and dogs. I don't know why people say guinea pigs are starter pets, because in my opinion, they're way more expensive and way more high maintenance than dogs and cats are. I always say that like cats or kittens are a good starter pet, even though I don't think any animals are starter pets, because I feel like cats are very like independent creatures and they're pretty easy to take care of. I think out of all my animals, my cats are the easiest. So yes, I do think guinea pigs are very high maintenance. They're more high maintenance than any other animal I have. Jana asked, how long did it take Kevin to warm up to liking you? So I'll try to remember to put the video in the cards above, but I did get Kevin from a friend, and Kevin has ended up being kind of the mascot of this channel. Everybody always wants to see Kevin and wants to know what he's doing. He's over here in the hay box currently running around with Salem because they love each other. But it didn't take long for Kevin to warm up to me at all. It took literally probably 2 days before Kevin was like iffy about his new space, because he was in a completely new space than he was used to, so he felt a little weird about that. But he doesn't have any issues with any type of human, so it didn't take him long to warm up to me at all. And she also asked, out of all of the Oxbow vitamins, which one do you think is the most important to give? That's a really great question. They're all really great. I think you should give them all very frequently, but the one that I give to Coffee and Beans every single day is the vitamin C ones. Vitamin C is the most important because Coffee and Beans do not eat veggies. They will not eat any. Beans will eat lettuce and that's all he'll eat, but Coffee won't eat anything because he's never had veggies his entire life. So I do give him supplements to help give him what he needs. So I do think vitamin C is very important, and the urinary support is also great as well, because guinea pigs are known for having a lot of urinary issues, bladder stones and stuff like this. This really helps their urinary health. So I think these are the two that I give the most. I'll go ahead and give them right now. So I hope I'm saying Jana's name right, but she asked a lot of great questions, so I'm gonna answer all of her questions. She asked, what does your guinea pig's dinner menu typically consist of? And usually for my guinea pig's veggies, I do switch it up quite a bit and give them different things every week, but it always consists of a lettuce, so either romaine, green leaf lettuce, or red leaf lettuce. Those are the ones that I do the most. I always give each pig a piece of bell pepper, always, no matter what. I don't think there's ever been a day where I've missed giving any of my pigs bell pepper. And then I'll give something else randomly, so I'll just give maybe like cilantro, parsley, I'll give cucumbers, I'll give tomato, I'll give fruit or something, and I'll just switch that third thing up every single day and give them something new every single day, but they always get the lettuce and the bell pepper. Yeah, I just give them something different all the time so they don't get bored. And all of my pigs, none of them are picky except for Coffee and Beans. All of the rest of my pigs will literally eat anything I give them. And she also asked, do any of your pigs rumble strut, and is that a bad sign? The Mocha and Latte, I have had them since they were 4 weeks old, I think. They're brothers, and they have rumble strutted at each other their entire life. They still do it all the time. They do it every single day. But as they're rumble strutting, they're also popcorning. So I feel like that's a really good sign. If they're rumble strutting at each other just to like play with each other, I don't see it as a bad sign because my boys are just doing it to play. But if you notice that your boys or girls are rumble strutting at each other and then attacking each other, then yes, that's a bad sign. You don't want that. But there's some pigs that just rumble strut at each other for fun, or they do it just to say, hey, leave me alone. But literally Mocha and Latte will do it and then start popcorning together. So it's a bad sign in certain situations, but my pigs that do it, they just do it to play. Ariana Loves Pets asked, how old are your cats and do you plan on getting any more cats? So my gray cat Twyla, she is about 3 years old. I got her when she was about a year old, and Spectra is about 1.5 years. And I would love to have more cats in the future. Cats have always been my favorite pets. I think they're the easiest and the best and the sweetest, and I love cats. And when I get a house, I would love to get some more, but who knows? And Rich123 asked, would you ever get a pet snake? And I have people asking me this all the time. I don't know if I seem like someone who would have a pet snake or something, but I have no interest at all in having a pet snake. I think snakes are really cool. I love watching videos about them. Ball pythons are personally my favorite, but I would never want to own one because you have to feed rodents to it. Even if they're frozen rodents, I don't want to feed an animal to another animal. It's just too icky for me. I know it's the circle of life, but I personally just don't want to do that. So Christina asked, how do you deal with guinea pig hair when washing fleece in the washing machine? So I actually use this thing right here to brush all of my fleece before putting it in the washing machine. I don't remember what this is called, but it's a horse brush. You use it to brush horses. I'll try to remember to put a link for it down below, but every single time I do a cage clean, when I take their fleece out, I just brush the fleece multiple times, and as you can see, there's hair all over this thing. This thing has probably saved my washing machine. It works so good, and my washing machine stays clean. I know a lot of people also do like the laundry bags. They put all of their fleece inside laundry bags and then wash them that way. That's another way that you could do it, but I've noticed the best way for me is just to use this brush, and it really helps. I've also had a lot of people ask me, like, how do I use fleece, because the fleece that they use, all of the hay and everything sticks to it a lot, and you need to make sure that your fleece is wicked very well before ever using it inside of your guinea pig cage. And also I've noticed with the cheaper fleece, it doesn't work as well. So when I first bought my first fleeces, when I first got Mocha and Latte, my fleece stuff would stick to it all the time, and it was just because the fleece was not washed enough and I didn't know. And it was also Walmart cheap fleece. All of my fleece from like Joann's and Michael's, those fleeces are amazing and nothing ever really sticks to them. So I've noticed that if you spend a little bit more money and get more of the expensive anti-pill fleece, then you're probably gonna have a better time when it comes to that. Kiki Life of Pets asks, which cage of guinea pigs do you think has the best bond? And I would have to say probably Kevin and the girls, which I love being able to say because it took me so long to find Kevin friends, but I have never seen any type of aggression from Kevin and the girls ever. Nothing at all. There has not been one thing where I've been like, oof. But like Mocha and Latte, they have their disagreements sometimes. And Pumpkin and Spice are very territorial over their water bottles, and they like to bite each other over that. Kevin and the girls are definitely the best when it comes to their bond. They just run around and play all day. I don't know. He's rumble strutting at me. She also asked, what is the biggest con of being a pet YouTuber? So this is a really great question, and I have talked about this before, but I want to go into a little bit more detail because I know a lot of you guys who follow me also want to become a pet YouTuber or a pet creator. And I just have to say from the beginning that while it is very fun to be able to show you guys my animals and educate you guys in the best way I can, it also comes with a lot of negatives, like people trauma dumping their animal issues onto you, people calling you names like animal abusers, animal hoarders, people making assumptions about you and your life because of what you choose to do with your animals, and just little things like that can become very overwhelming, especially if you're a young person who wants to start a YouTube channel. The number one thing that I've noticed, and my creator friends have noticed as well, is that when you're a pet YouTuber, you get people trauma dumping their animal awful stories onto you, and it is very emotionally taxing, and that's another reason why I turned my messages off on Instagram. I would have people that would just randomly message me during the day and be like, hi, I love your videos. My hamster got ran over by a car. And it's just like, okay, like I get told all the time like tragic stories about how people's guinea pigs fell off a bed and died, or just really grotesque stuff that I don't want to hear. I spent 3 years of my life watching animals die, and I don't want to hear your story about your animal tragically dying as well. And I don't know why anybody would think that's okay to message a stranger that they don't know and tell them about how their animal tragically got murdered or died, because that's really awful, and the creator that reads that message could be having a really bad day, and you make their day so much worse by doing that. So if you're somebody who has done that before and you just didn't know, please don't ever do that again. It is horrible to message a creator and tell them this tragic story about how your animal was brutally murdered. Like, that could really take a toll on somebody's mental health. And I know that for me, that's why I had to turn off my messages, because I would have people messaging me stuff that they should tell a vet, like asking me for medical advice on their animal dying when they should be taking it to the vet, or people like trauma dumping their animal stories onto me, and that's a lot for me to handle. So please don't do that. That is definitely the hardest part for me, and I think a lot of other creators can probably agree on that, is that people will just say the most random stuff to you, especially on Instagram DMs. Instagram is like feral over there. People will just say the weirdest stuff to you. Mason the chinchilla asked, have you always been an animal person, and what was your first pet? So yes, I have always loved animals. My mom, not my dad, but my mom grew up having a bunch of animals. She actually grew up on a farm. So she had a lot of animals growing up. She had tons of cats. So we always grew up with a decent amount of animals. I mean, not tons. Growing up as a little girl, I had 2 cats, one named Addie, and she lived till she was 20, and my cat named Lily, and she was a Siamese, and she was my cat, and she lived actually not super old. I think she was only like 8 or 9, but she had cancer. And then I also had a Pekingese named Chloe, and she also died of cancer. So I did have 2 cats and a dog growing up. And then after my cat Lily passed away, my parents got 2 kittens who are still alive. Their names are Ziggy and Zoe, and they live with my parents. So I've always had animals growing up. Addie was my first pet, but she was mainly my mom's cat because my mom actually got her before her and my dad were even married to each other. So my first pet, I would say, was probably my Siamese Lily. I actually have a tattoo of her right here because she was the best cat ever. I've never met a cat. Twyla is very similar to Lily, and I think that's why me and Twyla have such a good bond, but Lily was a really, really great cat. So she was my first cat growing up. I did have a couple fish here and there growing up, like a goldfish, but my parents obviously didn't know how to take care of the fish, and it would die in like 2 days. So that's all the animals that I had growing up. Iford McKenna asked, what do you do if you have to go out of town? So I don't go out of town hardly ever. I think maybe once a year I'll leave for like a weekend. Like this past month, I actually went on a trip to the mountains, and I was gone for 3 days. And what I do is I normally hire someone in my family to come take care of my animals. Like this past trip, I just asked my sister to come take care of the guinea pigs and the rats, and that's what she did. And basically I just organized all of the veggies in my fridge for each day. I would write the date on them. She would come feed them, clean the enclosures and stuff like that. So if I was going out of town with my family, like I believe last year I went to the beach or the mountains with my family. I don't remember which one, but I went to the mountains with my family last year for a week, and my boyfriend Gabe came and took care of my animals, but I didn't have as many animals then as I do now. So he came and he took care of Bowser and Mocha and Latte. I think that's all the guinea pigs that I had at that time. But yeah, I usually just hire someone I know to come take care of them, because the people in my family and stuff aren't scared of any of these animals. They're scared of Bowser, but Bowser's not hard to take care of. You just replace his food. He doesn't attack you or anything like that. So yeah, I just hire someone that I know would take care of them. And I also have a pet camera in the room to watch them just in case they need help. Just Woo Cavies asked, do you have an air purifier in your pet room, and what type is it? And yes, I do have an air purifier. I actually showed it in my last haul video, and I will put a link for it down below. And I also have a coupon code for this air purifier. It is amazing. It's huge. It works absolutely amazing in this room. This room always smells good. The air is just so nice. It doesn't feel thick and groggy in here at all. And it's personally a really great air purifier for me. So I will put a link for it down below. Owl Fun and Emma both asked, how old are all of your guinea pigs? So all of my guinea pigs are actually about the same age. Pumpkin and Spice, Mocha Latte, Kevin, and Beans are all about a year to a year and a half. And Coffee is 4. He's almost 4. So they're all pretty young, and Coffee is my little old man that likes to just sit in his hay over here. Oh, over here. And just hang out. He doesn't really like being touched that much, so I don't really bother him. I'm still in the process of him and Beans being bonded together. I have been filming it for the past month, and I just haven't continued on with the bonding process because it didn't go super well the first time. So I don't know if Coffee is going to do well with a friend or not because of how old he is, but we'll see. That's going to be a separate video. Zadella asked, what is your zodiac sign? That's a question for me, but I do want to answer it. I'm a Libra sun, Virgo rising, Sagittarius moon, and I just learned all of that stuff because I recently found out what time I was born, so I was able to get my birth chart. So that is my birth chart. Yeah, that was a lot of the questions that I wanted to highlight in this video. I have been filming for an hour now, so I don't know how long this video is going to be after I edit it. But yeah, those are the questions that I wanted to answer, and those are the questions that I get asked a lot, so I hope this helped answer some of your questions. I will do more Q&As every once in a while so you guys can ask me some more stuff. It's really hard to answer all of the comments that I get because I do get quite a few comments. I do want to thank all of you guys so much for the support here on my pet channel. It grew way faster than I was expecting it to grow. I'm almost at 30,000 subscribers. Like, I will hit that very soon. I am going to do a giveaway once I hit 30,000 subscribers, and then I'll do another one when I hit 50,000. So make sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you guys are interested in seeing future pet content. Some future videos I have planned are reorganizing my closet and this room again, and also bonding Coffee and Beans. There's so many other videos that I have planned as well. I'm going to build a playpen for my rats that is a permanent playpen, but I have to wait till I rearrange this room to be able to do that. And I just have a lot of stuff coming, so stay tuned for that. Be patient with me because, like I said, life has been insane right now. If you'd like to keep up with me on other social media apps, I actually do have a Patreon down below, and on Patreon you get behind the scenes pictures, videos, early access videos, and stuff like that. So if you want to get to see videos early, then you could check that out. Like, for example, this video is going to be up a day early for my patrons to watch, so I'll have that down below. And on my Instagram, my pet Instagram, I will always keep you guys updated with stuff that's going on, when I'm going to upload. When my animals passed away, I updated you guys on social media just because it was easier for me to do at the time rather than say it on YouTube and just stuff like that. So I'll have all my links down below. And I also want to mention one more thing before I end the video. As many of you guys have noticed, maybe, I have a Team C's hoodie on. And if you guys didn't know, Mr. Beast is partnering up with a group to be able to remove millions of pounds of trash out of the ocean, which we need to do because the humans of this earth are destroying the land, and our oceans are full of trash, and the coral reefs are dying, and all of these animals are stuck in trash all the time, and I hate watching videos of it. So this is a really good thing to follow and support. I will have a link for Team C's down below, and any dollar that is donated will go towards getting a pound of trash out of the oceans. I believe they have collected like $13 million so far, and that's 13 million pounds of trash to get out of the ocean. So we're getting there, and if you guys would just even like to support $1 to help support it, I will have it down below. A really great cause, and I know all of you guys love animals, and who doesn't love the ocean? It's beautiful. It has beautiful creatures in it. So if you'd like to support that, I'll have that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!